You check into a hotel known for its ghost stories. Just one night, you tell yourself. The wallpaper peels like old skin, the air hums with forgotten whispers, and the front desk clerk never quite meets your eyes. At first, it's just creaks and shadows. But when you hear someone breathing beside your bed, and no one's there, you realize something checked in with you, and it never left. Today we will talk about, you spend the night in a haunted hotel, but you're not alone. So before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. 1. Arrival at the Forgotten Inn. The night began with a chilling breeze as I arrived at the Ashmore Hotel, a Gothic structure long rumored to be haunted. Its looming spires and cracked facade stood untouched by time, hidden in a forgotten stretch of countryside. Booking the stay was a whim, a dare to myself. Locals had warned me, saying the hotel had been closed for decades after a string of disappearances. But curiosity got the better of me. The heavy front doors creaked open as if expecting me. Inside, dust hung thick in the air, illuminated by the flicker of a single chandelier. The front desk sat abandoned, yet a room key, room 313, lay waiting, tagged with my name in delicate cursive. The silence wasn't peaceful, it was watching. As I walked down the hall, carpet muffling my steps, I swore I heard breathing just behind me. Every corner of this place pulsed with the weight of stories never told. This wasn't just a haunted hotel, it was alive, and I was no longer alone. My night had just begun, and the shadows were already shifting. 2. Room 313, the Chamber of Whispers. Room 313 was the only one with a lit candle, as though someone had been expecting me. The key turned with unnatural ease, and as I stepped in, the air chilled instantly. The room was preserved in old-world elegance, velvet drapes, antique furniture, and a large canopy bed. But the moment I closed the door, the whispers began. They weren't audible at first, just soft murmurs slipping beneath the threshold of reason. I couldn't find a source, it wasn't the wind or pipes. The mirror by the vanity reflected something that wasn't me, someone else standing behind. I turned fast. Nothing. I checked every drawer, every crevice. The Bible on the nightstand was open to a page about demons driven into swine. At 11:13 p.m., the whispers became clearer, repeating my name. I tried to record them, but playback caught only static. I felt watched, touched, as if unseen fingers traced my spine. I turned to leave, but the door wouldn't open. I hadn't locked it. I wasn't alone in the room. A cold breath passed my ear. It said, "You came back." The shadows no longer stayed still. Whatever haunted this room had history with me I didn't understand. 3. The midnight guest appears. At exactly midnight, the temperature dropped sharply. Frost crept across the inside of the window pane. My breath misted in front of me. Then came the knock, not at the door, but inside the closet. Slow, deliberate, 3 times. I approached carefully, adrenaline sharpening every step. The knob trembled slightly, as if someone, or something, was gripping it from the other side. I flung it open. Nothing. Just hanging coats, some decades out of style. I turned back to the bed, and that's when I saw him. A man, gaunt and grey, dressed in an old hotel uniform, standing by the window, watching me with lifeless eyes. He didn't move, didn't speak. When I blinked, he vanished, leaving only a foggy handprint on the glass. The closet door slammed behind me on its own. I screamed, spinning in circles, feeling trapped. I checked my phone. No signal, no Wi-Fi. The clock on the wall had stopped ticking. I wasn't sure what was real anymore. The air was too heavy to breathe. The man had brought something with him, something darker. The whispers resumed, but now they were pleading. Don't stay, don't stay, don't stay. I now understood. I wasn't just a guest, I was bait. 4. Unearthing the hotel's past. Trapped inside, I began to search for answers. Behind a loose panel in the wall, I discovered a stack of faded newspapers and a torn guest ledger. The headlines chilled me. Bride vanishes on wedding night. 3 tourists missing in room 313. Hotel bellboy found dead. Eyes removed. The guest book listed my name, written in shaky ink, dated 50 years ago. That couldn't be. Then I saw it. Names crossed out with red ink, each linked to room 313. My pulse raced. Was I one of them? The deeper I read, the more twisted the story became. The hotel had been a luxury retreat in the 1920s, but after the hotel manager's daughter drowned in the tub of room 313, tragedy followed like a curse. Her name was Elizabeth. Guests reported seeing her in mirrors, hearing her sing lullabies in the halls. Those who stayed more than one night vanished. I was now entangled in this lore. My room was a trap, and I had to find a way out before history repeated itself. 5. The hidden stairwell. Desperate to escape, I scoured the room for another exit. Behind the armoire, I felt cold air seeping through the wall. I pushed it aside to reveal a narrow, spiraling stairwell, unlit and steep, made of stone. It wasn't listed on the hotel's floor plan. I took a candle and descended slowly, the flame dancing against the damp walls. As I went deeper, the hotel above faded into silence. The air was thick with decay and mildew. Halfway down, I found etchings on the wall, names, dozens of them, scratched in panic. Among them, mine. My full name, etched beside the date I checked in. That was impossible. I hadn't been here before. At the bottom, I reached a bricked-up corridor. A black and white photo hung crooked on the wall. It was a group of guests, smiling stiffly. I was in the photo. Same face, same clothes. I dropped the candle. The flame went out. Something breathed behind me. I wasn't just repeating history. I was part of it. The hotel had remembered me long before I arrived. 6. Elizabeth's song. I found myself back in room 313 without knowing how. The windows were now nailed shut. A music box played by itself, slow and haunting. It played Green Sleeves, the same melody I heard when I first entered. Then came the voice, soft and sweet, a girl singing along. The name Elizabeth echoed in the air. She appeared by the mirror, a pale child in a soaked nightgown, eyes vacant, hair dripping with water. "You'd promised you'd come back," she said, her voice distorted with static. I stammered that I didn't know her, but she floated closer. Her hand passed through the wall and emerged with a photograph. Me, holding her, standing in the hotel's garden. I dropped it in disbelief. "We were supposed to stay forever," she whispered, now angry. The music box stopped. The shadow surged. She screamed, shaking the room violently. Lamps exploded. The bed levitated and slammed down. She wasn't asking me to stay, she was demanding it. I ran to the door, but it had vanished. I was sealed in, trapped with her, trapped with the past I didn't remember. 7. Reality distorts. Time warped inside the room. I saw versions of myself, one lying on the bed, asleep, another pacing nervously, a third staring at the wall, whispering prayers. They didn't see me. I was outside my own timeline, watching myself in parallel loops. Elizabeth circled us, singing lullabies backward, her mouth moving unnaturally. She had trapped dozens of guests in overlapping realities, feeding off their sanity. I touched one version of myself. It evaporated like smoke. Every hour, another reality collapsed, another soul swallowed. I found a journal wedged into the headboard. written by someone named Thomas Green. It documented his descent into madness and his failed escape attempts. He wrote, "You have to forget who you were to become who she wants." I refused. I tore open the floorboards. Beneath them was a skeletal hand clutching a crucifix. The bones turned to dust in my grip, releasing a deafening scream. The lights burst. My eyes bled tears of shadow. The room spun like a carousel, dragging me into a black void. Then stillness. I stood alone. If you liked this video and would like to see more like it, please give it the thumbs up. Leave a comment and click the button to subscribe.